crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this double slider card. If you pull both sides, each one comes out. You don't actually have to pull both sides. You could either pull the top one or the bottom one and the other one will come out. Isn't that a brilliant idea? I've seen two different ways of making this. I'm going to be showing you the Dawn Griffiths way. I saw hers quite a few years ago now, and I liked it. I've done it before, it worked. So as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to stick to the same cardstock, same colours. But there are two very minor changes I'm going to make, which you probably won't even notice. But I will point them out as I go. So the cardstock you're going to need, this is Island Indigo and it measures 5.5 inches by 11 inches, which is 14 centimetres by 27.9 centimetres. Then you need another two pieces of Island Indigo, which measure 3.25 inches by 5.5 inches, which is 8.2 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And I got a bit distracted there because it looks as if I've got different batches here. Colour looks slightly different, either that or I've left this one sitting in the sunshine, but it doesn't matter, it's not going to show on the finished card. Right, move on to the Whisper White. You need two pieces of this as well, and they measure 3 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 7.9 centimetres by 13.7 centimetres. Then you want one piece of Smokey Slate, and this measures 3.25 inches by 4.5 inches, which is 8.2 by 11.4 centimetres. Then a layer of Island Indigo, and this measures 3 1/8 inches by 4 3/8 inches, which is 7.9 by 11.1 centimetres. A piece of Whisper White, which measures 3 inches by 4.25 inches, which is 7.6 by 10.8 centimetres, and then a piece that's approximately 3.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches. Sorry, I should have said Island Indigo. So repeat that, 3.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches, which is 8.9 centimetres by 7 centimetres. And you will also need scraps from 6 different colours, and I really do mean scraps, as you will see by what I've sorted out for myself. You know, they've got reasonable sizes on them for me to cut out, but this is for the lining inside the balloon. Okay, I don't know which order mine are going to be going in, but as long as I've got some nice bright colours in there, then I'm happy. So what I'm going to do first, what is becoming to be a bit of a pattern with me, because I think that it works quite nicely, I'm going to do the die cutting first, and then the stamping, and then putting the card together. So for the die cutting, I need that piece of Island Indigo, and I need all these little scraps as well. Okay, so I'll bring my Big Shot up, and the first cutting I'm going to do is the balloon, and for that I'm going to use my new Sizzix platform and my precision base plate. Just get that lined up, and the dies I'm using are from the Up and Away Thinlits, so I'm going to be using that for the actual balloon, and then I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to decorate the balloon with. Let me just pop those away. Right, I'll come back to those ones in a minute. I just get my one piece of Island Indigo. One cutting mat on top, one very well used bent cutting mat. So I'm going to run that through once and then bring that back. And then I'm just going to turn that just to make sure that all the pieces are going to come out nice, which it should do. Now that I've got these two, the platform and the position base plate should cut out really beautifully. So I'm not going to actually clean that out at the moment. I'll pop it to one side. I'll just do the rest of the die cutting. So I'll put those away and I'll bring in my magnetic platform and two cutting mats. I'll put the bent one down there with those. Right, so I need to do these 6 pieces, and this is the way they're going to fit in my balloon. I'm not particularly fussed what order the colours go in. To some extent it's going to depend on how big the pieces are that I have. So let's imagine we're going to start with let's turn that sideways, it's a bit, okay, so we'll have a green one first. And what are you going to fit onto? Or you're going onto the soft sky. This one needs quite a big bit. Will you go onto here? Yes, that's nice. And 3 small pieces. Those are moving. Let's move them down a bit. You can move down a bit. So that's that one. The yellow one we'll have to have hanging off down at the bottom. So that can be there, and a blue one. Alright. So I've just run that through. Right, I'll move that out of the way. And that. Now all these should have cut beautifully first time round. Oh, I've got something sticky there. I have to try and remember to get that cleaned up. Right, okay. Nearly pushed that out of shot. That's going to be the basket at the bottom. So that's it, I think, isn't it? 2, 4, 6. Right, so let me put these somewhere safe first of all. I'll sort out what I can keep out of that later. And this one, oh, that's fallen out nicely. I'm going to use my Sizzix die brush to get these cut out. Oh, looks like I've got some of my white glimmer paper still left in that one. With my paper piercer. Oh dear, that's really wedged in, isn't it? Oops, never mind. It's out now. Right, I think that, oh, there's another white piece there. Not setting a very good example, am I? In fact, there's 2 more. I don't believe this. I've been using this today as well. Well, that's clean now. Yep, that's clean. Right, so let's just push these little pieces out. Right, I'll empty that into the rubbish bin, and there's one really nice die-cut balloon. So what we need to do is to get these adhered on the back here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to turn all of those over because I want the right side facing down so that it's facing out from the front of the balloon. And I'm going to use Tom-Tom. Oh, Tom-Tom, I've done it again. Tombow for this. And I'm just doing little bits on the wider pieces. I'm not trying to do everywhere. Some of these uprights are nice wide areas. I do try and get onto all the edges though a little bit. And you don't need to worry about these two uprights here. Let me show you. Got a bit of fluff there. You don't need to worry about that one there and that one there. Okay, so I think that's okay. So take my green one, and that goes on to the first section. All you need to do is make sure that none of the green comes over the edge, and it shouldn't come down to the next set of cutouts either. This one will do that batch of cutouts, and again it won't come over the edge, and it's not going to come down to this set of cutouts, and they are just pushing up against each other. Oh no, don't turn it over. Oh, that's right, I should have done different colour for this one. Never mind. And that one there. Okay, so your balloon should look like that. But I don't recommend you do that bit, not the same colour. But what I think I will probably do is, I wasn't going to do it on the video, but I think I possibly will have to. On this one, can you see that I've done the wink of Stella just actually on the balloon, and that makes it quite a bit darker. So I think that will make the blue inside there stand out a bit more. So it depends how long the video goes on for. I might get that painted before I finish. Right, I'm going to bring the other pieces in now, and I need the 3 white pieces. The 2 pieces on the inside, let me see. Hope your birthday is on cloud, no, hope your day is on cloud 9, happy birthday, so that's that one. I'm using the 2 balloons, the large and the small. I'm using the 2 clouds, large and small. And that was all on this one. On the other one I've got You're Totally Awesome, and then on the front I've got Happy Birthday. So these are from all of these balloons, the clouds and this one, are from Lift Me Up. Is that one, that one, that one, that one, and this one. And the You Are Totally Awesome is this one, which is from Grateful Bunch. And the Happy Birthday on front here is from Guy Greetings, which is that one. Okay, so let's move that over there, so I've got a bit of room here to work. And I'm going to get a scrap of paper because I want to go off the edges. And I'm going to be using Smokey Slate ink and also Island Indigo. So first of all, what I'm going to do is to do the sentiment, which I've already got lined up nice and straight on my block. That was clever, wasn't it? Right, let's try that again. I'm just getting this lined up nice and straight. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it upside down because then I can see what's really... That's it. It's a lot closer to me like this, as long as I remember to turn the stamp upside down as well. Yep, that's right. Okay, so this is the top of my piece of cardstock. Yes, that's good. And for the other one, I'm going to use You Are Totally Awesome, and this is at the bottom of the Whisper White piece. Don't you just love these photopolymer stamps? Brilliant. So that's that one done. And this one is the Happy Birthday, the Guy Greetings one. Let's put that nice and straight. That's good. No, we do still need this. Right, so let's go back to the first one. And both of these, I'm just going to stamp some balloons in a random style, pattern rather, not style. I've put that over here. So the first one is going to be nice and big, just under our sentiment. And then one more down here somewhere. So that's all I'm going to do for the big ones. Do some big ones on here as well. Start off sideways this one. Okay, so that's the big ones done. Yes, that's finished now. Now the small ones, let's bring my first sheet back again. Again, just in a random pattern. Some on the page, some off the page. I think I'll leave that like that because I'm going to fill in any of the gaps that I have with clouds. Okay, so let's have one there. One there. just going off the top and maybe just very slightly on the side there. So that's that one done. I think I finished with the blue, and now we'll use the Smokey Slate. And although you can't see through this, it's quite easy to try and decide whether it will fit in between the balloons. If you don't think it's going to fit in, then leave that for a small one and then just carry on doing some coming off the edge. In fact, this is what I find is really quite distracting about having stamp marks on my work paper. Can't really get a true picture of what I'm meant to be looking at. So that's that one. I'm going to put some small ones in here as well. No, I think that's enough. Let's stop. Yes. Now let's do this one. We do the big clouds first. That's enough. It needs to come back. We haven't finished with that one yet. And we'll do some more small ones, or at least we do some small ones on this one. I think that will be okay. We just have one little one coming off the side here. Was it worth it? Look how small that is. Right, and then this one, this is what our balloon is going to be going on to. Okay, so we can put the clouds absolutely anywhere we like, but you just, if you put your balloon on there, you can see, you can get a rough idea where your balloons are going to be visible. So I'm going to put one big one here, and then I want another big one up here somewhere, but coming off the page, the sheet. Okay, so that's like that, and I will just have one more big one up here, and then I will do some small ones. Okay, so I'll have one down here, one coming off here, and I want one coming out from under the balloon. That's just about as big as the last one I did. Let's move one over a bit. There we go, that should be right. Yes, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So that is all the stamping done. I'm just going to pop that. No, I'll do that afterwards, I think. I was going to say I'll pop that up on the dimensionals, but I'll do that afterwards. In fact, I'm going to be doing these layers first, aren't I? Now, this is one of the changes I'm going to do. When I did this one, you can see the Smoky Slate layer, but you can't see that I've got another layer of Island Indigo there. So I swapped those two layers round. So this time it's going to be like that with that one on top, so that you see the difference between the Smoky Slate. That's going to look much, much nicer. Look at that. Right, so let's just glue these. This you can use any glue you like. Tweezers. So that one onto there. This one onto the Smokey slate. And then these two. The reason I didn't do an extra layer with the Smokey slate on these that are going inside is because I feel that this is quite fat enough. I mean, ignore that that one's there, but with the layers that are already in there, I didn't want to put an extra 2 layers. I don't think it's spoilt by not having the 3rd layer. It's just more habit with me. Makes quite a difference, doesn't it, putting it on a little layer. There we go. So that's those 3 pieces all done. The balloon I will leave till the last. So now we're going to make our card. So first things first, we need to score this piece of cardstock. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard up. And we need 3 score marks. Let me just bring my notes over. So the first score mark is at 3.5 inches, which is 8.9 centimetres. The next one is at 7 1/8 inches, which is 18 centimetres. And then the last one is 10 5/8 inches, which is 26.9 centimetres. Okay, so that's all we need to do. I've forgotten to bring my bone folder over, so no worries. Right, what we need to do is fold these over and crease it down. So that one. In fact, if I fold it like that, I'll get a better crease. Just one piece in there. And then just this thin bit at the end as well. Now on this piece here, I'm going to put some red sticky strip on it, because obviously all that time ago when Dawn did it, we were using red sticky strip. Presumably you can use fast fuse, but I certainly wouldn't do tear and tape, because I'm not sure that that would be thick enough. And as much as I love Tombow, it's not very practical to use a wet glue. Right, okay, now to get the mechanics of this going, what you need is a strip of plastic, which is about 1.5 inches wide and about 12 inches long. and I do recommend that you use clear plastic. I recommend plastic because it's quieter than using cellophane from the cellophane bags. But the reason I suggest you make sure that this is clear rather than using a carrier bag is because on this bag here I had some writing on it. You see that? And it's actually visible. Okay, it does disappear, but it's definitely got writing on, and I would really rather that you couldn't see that. You see how that's all just clear plastic? And that's how I like it, but then you get the writing. Such a shame that I did that. So I hope you learned by my mistake and just take clear plastic. And what I did was I just took a plastic food bag out of the kitchen. I cut down that side, so I had to take the extra bit off to cut that fold off as well. But I've got plenty more there for using when I do classes, because I thought this would be a nice project to do. Right, so what you need to do is to wrap this around, cut it off to the length you need, approximately. In fact, let me measure that, because I've got no idea how long you need. This is 12 inches. Right, on this first section, this is the one that's got your little flap on it, the tiny end. So this one, what you need is for this to fit around, to fit snug but not tight, okay? And what I'm going to use for here is I'm going to use my snail. So if I put some snail on there, you have to be careful, because I find that on shiny things, snail doesn't actually always come off. It stays on the roll. But if you give it enough encouragement, it will behave. But I haven't tried fast fuse. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, that comes off lovely. Look at that. Oh yes, that's come off really well. So if you've got fast fuse, do use that. Okay, so I'm just making sure that this is going to fit snug but not tight. In fact, you know what I've done? I've made my sticky come over the edge. I'm going to have to redo that bit. Let's try that. In fact, it would have been more sensible to do the sticky on the bit that was going over rather than the bit that was laying down ready. Okay, let's do that again. So this is the bit that's going to go on top. So this is the bit that I'm going to put my tape on. And again, don't go too far, because where are you? Come back. Because if you come down too far here, you'll have the same problem coming off of here. Right, snug but not tight. There we go. I've just got little bits coming off the edge there. But being plastic, they pick off quite easily. There we go. Right, now just make sure that that runs smoothly. Okay. Right. This is going to be the front of your card, this piece here. Okay, so you've got your little flap bit there. Okay, you see that? Yep. So that's going to be the front. So what I am going to do first of all is I'm going to take my 1-inch punch, and I am just going to go in a little way and I'm making sure that this is in the centre here, and I'm just going to punch out a little finger hole, and I'm going to do one for the other end as well, making sure that's in the centre. I'm only going about just over a quarter of the way into that circle. Whoops. So that was the 1 inch circle punch. So let's go back again and get this around the right way. So that's going to be the front of my card. Okay, that one there. So with the piece I want to come out at the top, so I want it coming out of the top up like that. So I need to adhere it on this way. Okay, because when I close this up, that's what I want to happen. Okay, so your front piece that you want to go up, you're going to have it facing towards you. I'll just get rid of that glue before I get my card stuck down there. So what we're going to do on this is I am going to put some fast fuse here. I think that's a lot better than using snail on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece onto here. I'm going to make sure that the bottom lines up. I'll just move that into the centre a bit. Okay, so the bottom of my card is lining up to the bottom of this bit here. Make sure it goes straight. Right, and then just to make sure that it does actually work, if you turn it over very carefully, because you haven't got the back done up yet, just see whether, okay, I'm not holding that, so that is moving beautifully. Right, now we've done that one, now we need to do the back, which is going to be this one. So we need that facing down this time, so that when you're facing front, that's going to go down when this one comes up. So this one, we need to put the glue on the top. So let's use fast fuse again. And we're going to do this one face down, and we're going to line this up with this edge here. Just make sure it's in the centre there. Okay, now when you close that up, once this is all done, what should happen is you should be able to pull that, and then that one works. Okay, isn't that just absolutely brilliant? And just with a little piece of plastic. Right, now we've got to get this sealed up. What we're going to do is we're going to take the backing of this strip, and then we're going to get that to stick down on this side here, which is underneath our image sheet, and basically it's just going to go like that, and then it will keep that image sheet tucked in. Alright, so let's have a go at doing that. I'll just take that piece off. And then lift that one slightly to the front so that you can fold that one over, and then when you've got that folded, you can just close it like that, and then you can just get hold of the one sheet and pull it. Okay, you can see the plastic, but at least it's all clear plastic now and you can't see any writing on it. So what we're going to do now is, so the recipient of our card knows that they've got to pull it, I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch handheld circle punch, and I'm just eyeballing what I think is about halfway there, but I'm not going to go as far as my writing. I'm just going to be above that. Just make sure I'm in the centre there. It's close. Okay. And I'm going to do the same down the other end as well. Would have been a bit better if I'd left a bit more room, but never mind, this will still work. Make sure that's in the centre. It is jolly close. In fact, it took a little bit out, but not enough to spoil it. Now I'm going to use some ribbon, and this is our, what is this? Smokey Slate stitched ribbon. It's this one here. And I'm just taking two little pieces about so big, which I imagine is probably about 6 inches. That's 7 inches, but I'm sure 6 inches would probably be enough. Yes. Right, so what I'm going to do, oh, let's keep those because I'll trim the ends up. So what I'm going to do is which way do I do this? Does that go in from the front or the back? Oh, it goes in from the front, doesn't it? And rather than spend too long fighting with this, I just give it a little push through with my tweezers, and then pop the two tails through there, and then because I've done it this way, I get that little line coming across the front, which makes it look all nice and tidy. And then I'm going to just cut the ends, tidy those up. I'm going to do exactly the same at the other end. Pop that there, push through, open the loop and get the two tails to go through there. And then cut these so they're approximately the same length as those at the bottom. Okay, so there we have. If you want to pull it, both ends, if you want to pull one end, or if you want to pull the other end. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to put my balloon on here. First of all, I'm going to put this sheet on, and then I'll do the balloon once it's nice and firm in place. So Tombow for this. No, I don't need that again now, do I? Remembering which is the top. Yep. The last thing you want to do after all this work is put it on upside down. There we go, just give it, because it's on a curve, because of the bulge on here, just give it a couple of minutes to, well no, a few seconds to get a grip. and I'm going to pop this on with dimensionals. So what I'll do is I'll have one, I'll do north, south, east and west, and then I will take one and cut it in half so that I have one piece in the basket there, and the other piece can go in the centre of the back of the balloon, so that's not dipping down. And I don't have time to paint over the Winker Stella, so I will do that before I take the photographs. Right, I'm just going to hold this up to make sure I get it in a good position. There we go. So there's today's project. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I really hope you give this a try, because it is a fun project, and it's a lovely card for somebody to receive. I remember doing one for my daughter for her birthday a few years ago, and she was just so blown away by it. Okay, so there we go. Many thanks for watching my video today. If you have any questions, please leave a note in the comments box below, or send me an email to janb@janbcards.com. I'm always very happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, you'll find a link for my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in the box below the video. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. And finally, I will put all the products that I've used with the product numbers and the measurements of everything on the screen, but I'm well aware, depending on what you're watching this on, it doesn't always show up there. So I will make sure it's in the box below, and the box is where it says show more. If you click on that, the box will open up and all the information will be in there for you, all very nice and handy. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.